What's up? I want to show you this quick tip I've been trying out in order to help me create some custom drums using this advanced pad layering technique. Everybody, welcome back to Lifted Noise. Glory be to God. My name is Raul. What I always do on the channel is MPC tutorials and beat making videos and samples sometimes over on Patreon. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, I do a monthly sample pack where I create a custom drum kit, a key group, and a loop pack. So this is along the lines of that. I've been trying to experiment with drum layers, and I've worked with the pad layers where you can put up to 4 different layers on one pad. But that has its limitations in that if you want to put an effect on that pad, then it's going to affect all the layers. So this is a technique where you have more control of individual layers. So let's take a look. All right, so not too long ago, I did do a beginner's guide to using pad layers in order to make your own custom drums. But briefly going over how that process would be, you would go into Program Edit. You click on this samples tab till it brings you to this screen where it says layers, and you can assign your individual samples per layer. And you do have a little bit of flexibility as far as tuning those individual layers and adjusting the levels so you can get a good mix. You could do some panning there and some other stuff. But like the main thing that I'm looking at that you have an advantage with this more advanced technique is within the effects, because I do have 4 inserts per pad, but those 4 inserts will affect all of the layers on that pad. So if I want more flexibility, I'm looking at using what is called simultaneous play. So in the master section here within your Program Edit, so I have already assigned samples to my pads. So rather than using the layers, I'm using multiple pads and layering those. So I've already assigned, and I've done some affecting, like EQing or filtering on some of these. So I'm going to line up all my kick drums here, and I never use more than 3. So that's basically what I'm going to do. But you could actually trigger 5 pads at once. And if you want to do some crazy extreme advanced layering, technically each pad you have 4 layers, and you could do 5 different pads triggered using simultaneous play. So you could have like 20 different samples layered at once if you use those layers, and then you use those. So because technically you can use 1 pad to trigger 4 more. So 5 times 4, 20. But I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I'm just doing simply 3 layers because that's what I basically do with layers, but I'm doing this way because I have more flexibility. So I have these kicks assigned, and I'm going to have this pad 1, which I'm leaving blank so that I can trigger them all simultaneously. So I want to trigger this pad, which is A05, but I'm going to click back here on pad 1 so that I can assign it. And then I want to assign this pad, and I can just look up here for a quick cheat so I know what pad it is briefly rather than having to count them. That's A09. So clicking back on this one, and this next little pad here I'm going to assign to A09, and then my last one is A13. So clicking back on pad 1, and then my next one is A13. So now when I click pad 1, I'm actually triggering all these samples. And so I could go in and trigger these individually and go to filter and filter them differently. Or I can go into effects and do whatever effects and do it per pad. And then I could trigger and listen to what that combination sounds like with pad 1 right there with those kicks. So I like leaving that blank so that I can hear them all triggered. And then I can go in and just individually do this. And I like 3 samples for layers, because then I could really cover the basic range. You know, if I like a kick, like say this kick right here, I really like the low end from the kick. And then this one, I like the mid range from it, you know. I guess I could put a band pass on there. And this one, I like the high, so I've already got a filter on there. And then pressing this pad, you know, triggering all those. I just wanted to give you that little advanced tip for you guys and then let you run free with it. I just kind of started using it. Just to mention one other thing. So with pad layers, just using it the basic way, you do have one advantage where, you know, you can select the pad and then just hit flatten pad, name it, and then it resamples all those layers in place and just drops it there on the same pad. So you can't do that with this, because if you were to do that, you're just going to end up resampling, flattening that single sound by itself. So what you're going to want to do is go into the sampler, assign your input from 1 and 2 to resampler, resample left and right, hit record, trigger the pad, stop it, name it, and then you can save it for later use as an individual sample, rather than having this program with the simultaneous play, you know, set up. So yeah, that's the one disadvantage of advanced layers. Many other advantages. There's always, you know, trade-offs for certain things in workflow. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that so you guys know. There you go. I think this could take you in some pretty interesting ideas. You could use a simultaneous pad to trigger up to 5 pads, and then you got multiple layers. Like I said, you could do up to 20. Theoretically 20 different samples triggered at one time. You don't necessarily have to use just kicks layered with kicks. You can use all kinds of sounds, you know what I mean, just for textures and stuff. But I like the three layers, like I said, because you kind of feel the basic range of frequencies for a sound. It's low end, mid range, and a high end. So, and then, you know, let your imagination run from there, experiment and all that. That's what I'm going to be doing, just starting out with this technique. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful to you and it sparked some kind of creativity on your journey of creating and lifting noise. So until next time, like I always say, everybody, God bless, stay humble, lift noise. Peace.